Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the second day of MENA Information Security Conference 2023, themed Cognitive Cyber, the evolution from reactive to predictive cyber leveraging and emerging technologies IT, OT, and IoT. For today's welcome speech, our keynote speaker possesses over 25 years of experience and holds a Master of Science degree in Telecommunications. He is recognized as one of North America's cybersecurity and enterprise data management thought leaders. He has constantly delivered enterprise solutions with a cybersecurity focus and disaster recovery solutions for complex U.S. civilian and government agencies, with missions ranging from bioinformatics to fighting infectious diseases to protecting government employee data. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Samir Omar, Chief Executive Officer, VirtuPort.
Thank you, Osama. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you all for your time today and welcome to day 2 of the MENA Information Security Conference 2023. I want to ask you guys a question before I start this presentation because it's going to really determine some of the subjects I cover. How many of you attended my speech yesterday? Can I get a show of hands? How many did not attend yesterday's speech? Okay, so quite a few people. All right, so because I was going to twist it a little bit and give a different conversation, which I'll still do today, but I'm going to cover the main topics because I think it's still really important to go over the strategy and the priorities and how to be resourceful. So some of the things we talked about yesterday is why the triangle stage, the confidentiality, integrity, and availability model, and how the industry really in the past decade got it wrong. Reason why was people were putting cybersecurity priorities over the business goals or the business mission. And that was a really big problem. So really there's a change in the industry, in the community of how we see the triangle of confidentiality, integrity, and availability. And it also encompasses more about the human touch and the human intelligence rather than artificial intelligence. So, the real new paradigm we're looking at today is competency, integrity, and empathy. Now, empathy is really tied more to emotional intelligence. It's more of a human intelligence or a challenge. So, really, the competency is not about having technical skills or mastery in skills, but rather to inspire, inform, and preserve the trust with your customers and your employees. So it's a two-way streak. You want to retain those employees you have, and you also want to bring in and have a culture of bringing in people. Then the integrity comes in 2 parts. Obviously, we know data integrity. The second part really is about the integrity that you take when you host customers' privacy data or critical data or sensitive data. So, and then the last really is empathy. And empathy is one of those main factors in emotional intelligence. And they share and prioritize, when you're empathetic, your customer needs and your employee needs. So you have a really defined culture. I'll tell you guys a quick story. I have a fantastic gym in Sahafa where I love to swim. And I have the fortunate ability to swim with people that are very, very successful people and very kind and humble people. And one of the gentlemen that I swim with, his name is Abu Suleiman. And every time I see, Abu Suleiman's retired, and I'll tell you a little quick story about Abu Suleiman, is he started one of the banks here in Saudi, very successful big bank. And he said, we didn't have any investors, we didn't have any mergers, we started this from the ground up. And we helped Arabize it before we did anything. And we started assembly lines of Arabization. And I was like, oh, fantastic, that's wonderful. So anytime I see Abu Suleiman, I try to go out there and I swim to Abu Suleiman because I know I'm going to learn something. He's retired. So one of the things I asked Abu Suleiman is, how do you encourage your daughters to be successful? Because he has three very successful daughters, and I just had a daughter and I have another daughter. And he said, what I used to do is I would tell them for every good grade they would get, an A or 4 out of 4, I'd give them 5,000 riyal. And he said, my daughter graduated with straight A's, and after college, she said, he gave her all the money that added up to 500,000 riyal. And I said, Tabanani Abu Suleiman, will you adopt me? But this is the type of gentleman's success he was. So I asked him, I said, I ask another question. Give me something from your 25 years of experience of running a bank that I can carry with me and for success. And he said 2 words. He said, the human touch. He said, if you worked on the human touch and work with people, they will fight for you, they will work for you, and they will sweat for you. And this empathy that we see on the CIE triangle is about that human connection. So it really glued for me to see that it's more important than we think, the computers and the tables and the artificial intelligence. It's about us in this room. It's about all of you here today and all those sponsors who invested to be here today from their precious time and money to learn and to share and to collaborate. What you're doing this morning, and you have an agenda that you saw earlier on the screen, is going to empower you. I always used to say, it's the skills that pay the bills, right? Learning by earning. You want to move up in your career? Well, this is how you do it. You want to become more successful? This is how you do it. You've got 50 companies out there, cybersecurity companies, that it would take you probably 2 months to get to know every single one of them and their solutions. In one day, you can circle around and meet all those people, handshake with them, switch business cards, and communicate. So, there's a gentleman I learned from in the States. He's a very successful businessman and a line of business people. He actually donated $20 million and he built the Notre Dame Library of Law. And he always used to teach us, managing complexity is a losing strategy. And complexity is our enemy. And genius is not taking something complex and making it more complex. Genius is taking something complex and making it simple. And that's part of what we want to do here today, is simplify and be resourceful for our activities, right? So enterprise risk management, business resilience are some of the key resourcefulness activities that you need to do while remaining and sustaining compliance. So what I'm talking about is resourcefulness, right? So that's if you were to take notes in your mind of where you want to have the 7 top strategies, 7 top priorities, this is maybe where you want to start, right? And I talked about how the risk game that I used to play and how I was able, by taking over Australia and Purple, to have a zero trust policy, was able to beat everybody because Australia only had 1 border. So, things to think about. Again, this is another priority, right? Leading a high-performance security organization and a culture. Culture is everything in an organization. And being able to have a culture of success really starts at the top. One of the things that we used to do at our old company was Dan Warmenhoven, who's a billionaire, and the 3 managers under him who were multimillionaires, what they would do is they'd have a day for calling their employees to say thank you. And they would call some of the junior people, some of the mid-staff people. So, cybersecurity awareness, another cultural thing that has to be developed. Why? It's because the perimeter has fallen. The old days of firewalls, intrusion detection, packet capture, that's over with. All it takes is 1 employee to click on the wrong phishing email or the wrong URL, and you now have an insider threat into your organization. And you know, we get phishing emails, attacks all the time. And I have to remind myself, I'm like, this looks a little weird. And it's simple training. Just look at the URL. You know, something that you could train everybody on to be more aware of. And create an organization for the organization. So a realty company is not going to have the same type of culture or organization or security operations as a hospital, right? Again, flip the vision so that you're successful from cybersecurity is to ask yourself, what is the business impact analysis? What is my, RPO and RTO, recovery point objective, recovery time objective, to know better about the business? Then you imply that to cybersecurity. Defending against cyber attacks and emerging threats. Security operations and automation. Automation is everything in cybersecurity. Your SOAR architecture is going to be a key function on how you react to threats in an automated fashion, so that you're not doing manual work of a phishing email attack and having to detonate it and have to recover, have to do announcements. Lockdowns, zero trust. Things that we hear a lot about, keeping our priority stack. Managing humans is just as important as managing machines, the service accounts on those machines. Data encryption, data discovery, it surprises me every day if you actually ask the customers, where is your sensitive data? Where is your crown jewels? What is your key business applications? And where's the most sensitive national IDs, Iqama IDs, license plates? It could be spread across the overworld. And then the next question is, who has access to that data? Do you have a folder somewhere in your Windows file server or file share that has a little hand under it, where it's the hand of everyone has access to it? It exists. I found it sometimes where there was very sensitive data to 22,000 employees that had the everyone folder shared to it. So here we are, we're building these cool architectures, we're building these SOCs and automation and threat detection and cyber threat intelligence, and you've got a folder out there with everybody can access all the human resources data. It's scary, but it's really real. And then coding by design, right? Starting from scratch to look at how are we developing our applications, our business applications, our cloud applications, our mobile applications. Are we doing it securely? Those are huge holes also in the cybersecurity infrastructure that you want to be careful for. And I don't know, how many of you were able to attend the quantum cybersecurity speech yesterday? Okay, so only a few people. So the good news is all the thought leader speeches that we have today and yesterday are going to be professionally recorded and will be available on YouTube at our VirtuPort TV channel. And I highly recommend that you can go back to all the sessions that you missed and attend those sessions, and you'll be able to see it. So thank you all today, and please enjoy the video and the start of the presentation. We've got an all-star lineup today, just like yesterday. I think one of the titles of the talk were Security Operations Center Self-Driving, right? And then there's a lot of AI. And we also have my next keynote speaker, Ted, who's fantastic and has some really good things to say about his experience with the FBI and chasing down cyber criminals around the world. So thank you all and enjoy the video. Have a good day. Assalamu alaikum.
In a world where everything is interconnected, billions of bytes of data travel across our digital universe every day, powering businesses, nurturing relationships, and driving innovation. Yet, within this realm of endless possibilities lurks unseen threats, because our lives revolve around technology. With great convenience comes great responsibility. As the technological landscape expands, so too does our reliance on it, making the protection of cyberspace a moral imperative. As our reliance on digital technologies grows, so does the scale and sophistication of cyber attacks. Standing guard over this complex network is no straightforward task. Cyber threats, like chameleons in the digital wilderness, constantly evolve, adapting to our defences, seeking weaknesses to exploit. With each digital interaction, every piece of data shared presents an opportunity for malicious actors to disrupt our way of life. Cyber threats are not simply a nuisance, they are a pervasive and persistent challenge in this age of digital connectivity. Artificial intelligence is revolutionizing cybersecurity. Through machine learning algorithms and neural networks, AI can identify patterns and spot anomalies faster and more accurately than any human. From detecting malware in real time to predicting future attack vectors, AI is at the forefront of our defense against cyber threats. It's an arms race, and AI is our most potent weapon. AI is revolutionizing cybersecurity, providing unprecedented speed and precision in threat detection and response. And behind this great technology is a legion of dedicated professionals, tirelessly working to keep our digital world secure. Welcome to our 11th edition of the annual Middle East North Africa Information Security Conference 2023, where this year's theme is Cognitive Cyber, the evolution from reactive to predictive cyber, leveraging AI and emerging technologies, IT, OT, and IoT. We are delighted to welcome each of our esteemed speakers, moderators, panelists, and all of you cybersecurity expert professionals who are on the front line, front office, making the critical decisions required to address these challenges by working together and networking. Please enjoy the next 2 days that are fully packed with insightful trends from global speakers, sharing their vision and recommendations. Experience rich networking opportunities with top cybersecurity solution providers and vendors from around the globe and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We would like to give special thanks to all our valued sponsors and speakers for making our 11th edition a success. Enjoy the conference.